Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Duke heading on the road to play Miami. Manny Diaz coming back to Miami, and I think is a really exciting matchup between what I've been very vocal is the best offense that we see in the country right now. Cam Ward, the Miami Hurricanes, going up against the Duke defense that has been very good to start the 2024 year. And I think more specifically, a Duke defense that is going to be very aggressive. The Miami Hurricane fans know, like, Manny Diaz wants to bring pressure. He wants to have a lot of creative blitz packages against the Miami offensive line that, hey, we know this Miami Hurricanes offensive line is very good from a personnel standpoint, has been very good to start 2024, but struggled just a little bit picking up some pressure packages against Florida State on Saturday. This is an opportunity for Miami to kind of get back that confidence in terms of the communication, the chemistry on this offensive line for Miami. Really excited to get into it. Before we do, and as always, just want to say thank you to you guys. It's been a blast doing these preview prediction episodes. All the support y'all have shown the boys, it's been amazing. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Much more importantly, let it fly in the comment section. A lot of different ways you can look at this football game. Without further ado, let's get into it. And let's start with what I think is the main event of this football game, Miami's offense, Duke's defense. And it starts with Miami being better picking up pressure packages. You know Miami wants to throw the football. They got the best quarterback in the country right now with Cam Ward. They have the playmakers on the outside. I think where Miami really struggled against Florida State was Florida State, to their credit, has some really good defensive linemen, and they got really creative in terms of the looks in the pressure packages that they threw at Miami. Miami struggled a little bit. And no doubt Manny Diaz is looking at that film from Miami, Florida State and saying, we're going to try to replicate the struggles or try to attack some of the struggles that we saw this Miami Hurricanes offensive line struggle with against Florida State. If you're Mario Cristobal, Alex Mirabal, I think it just comes down to locking these offensive linemen in the film room, going over every single package and look that Manny Diaz is going to throw at you, and kind of understanding how to pick up and where the pressure is going to come from. Because at the end of the day, like, from a personnel standpoint, I ain't got no concerns about the Miami Hurricanes offensive line. It's just got to come together from a chemistry and communication standpoint. Look, there's a lot of other offensive lines that just don't have good offensive linemen, so it ain't going to get better. Like, if you're a Miami fan, like, you know it can get better if Miami just dials a little bit in more in terms of picking up those pressure packages. The other, I think, interesting storyline, Duke's been very good against the pass. A very similar kind of matchup to how we talked about Miami playing Florida State, where, hey, where do you want to attack this Duke defense? You take a look at the secondary numbers. They're only giving up a 56% completion percentage. That's 20th in the country, only 5.5 yards per pass attempt. That's number 5 in the country. Now, it's very fair. I don't think they've seen a passing attack like Miami's going to bring this Saturday. That being said, the secondary has been pretty good for Duke, forced a lot of turnovers against SMU. That's probably worth noting. Like, an SMU team that's really, really hot, Duke probably should have won that football game. This is a Duke team that it's scrappy. I think that's the best word to describe this Duke team, with the really good secondary. You saw against Florida State why I think this Miami Hurricanes team on offense is so dangerous. And that is, hey, Cam Ward had a quote unquote bad football game, I guess you would say. Not used to kind of what we're seeing from Cam Ward to start 2024. It didn't really matter. Like, Miami was still able to score 36 points. They ran the football all over Florida State because of how multidimensional this Miami Hurricanes offense is. It's really hard to stop. I mean, we kind of said going into that Florida State game, Florida State has a good pass rush and some good boundary cornerbacks. This might be a game that Miami leans a little bit more in the rushing attack, and that's exactly what we saw. This Miami Hurricanes offensive line, when they want to road grade in the run game, they can do so. I think the biggest storyline is Damian Martinez is kind of back to the running back we all knew he was going to be when he came over from Oregon State. We talked about it, kind of some growing pains in a different run scheme and rushing offense than he had at Oregon State. So I think it took maybe a month or a couple of games to kind of get used to how to run the football in this Miami Hurricanes offense. I think it's fair to say over the last 2 weeks, we got the Damian Martinez we knew we were getting from Oregon State. That's the big storyline. Like, hey, this might be a difficult defense to pass against, but Duke is also giving up almost 5 yards per carry. That's 70th in the country. Miami's got the advantage here in the trenches, and this is part of what Cristobal has been building. Hey, we want to build this program from the line of scrimmage out. This offensive line is very good. It can move bodies off the line of scrimmage. You got two Mack truck running backs that you probably want running the football 40 plus times in this game. I think Miami's probably going to lean on this ground attack like they did against Florida State. And again, what makes them so special is they can do that. Couple other storylines. Wouldn't mind seeing Miami go back to a little bit more play action as this rushing attack is getting a little bit more consistent. Cam Ward on play action this year, a 75% completion percentage, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Now they're only going play action on 26% of dropbacks, so that number is relatively low. But as you are starting to find that balance with this Miami Hurricanes offense, wouldn't mind seeing Miami throwing a little bit more play action with what the rushing attack is looking like over the last couple of weeks. Now, you flip the side and say, this is probably another opportunity for Miami to continue to get some confidence back on the defensive side of the football. Duke's offense has struggled, right? 26 points per game. That's 70th in the country, only averaging 5 yards per play. That's 102 in the country. Malik Murphy he's an exciting quarterback. Malik Murphy can make some big time throws. And I think a lot of college football fans who followed the sport as a whole remember Malik Murphy back at Texas, had a really good spring game, came in for Quinn Ewers. A little bit of a roller coaster. Still a young quarterback that is still trying to figure it out. But at the end of the day, this is what I would say is a difference maker quarterback. Can throw the deep ball very well, can make any throw on the football field that you ask of him. It's just not been super consistent. You look at the numbers, only a 57% completion percentage. That's 99th in the country. 6.3 yards per pass. That's 112th. If you're Miami heading into this game, I think you want to do kind of similar what you did against Florida State, and that is not give up the explosive play outside of that like fluky quarterback sneak that Luke Kromenhoek like got out of the pile, ran it for 42 yards. Miami was quite good, not giving up explosive plays. That's crucial for Miami, and for kind of two reasons. One, that's normally just an important stat in general. Like if you can make a college football offense go 12 plays, stay on schedule, and score a touchdown, you put yourself in a pretty good position to play good defense. But I think more importantly and specifically for this Miami Hurricanes defense, with how good this Hurricanes pass rush is and how disruptive it is, if you make an offense go 12 plays in 80 yards, chances are during one of those 12 plays, Miami's creating a negative play and kind of creating a drive killing play. So if you can continue to not give up the chunk explosives and keep offenses kind of methodically moving the football, you just give your pass rush, your difference makers in the front seven, more opportunities to kind of create those drive killing negative plays. You kind of saw Miami do that against Florida State. You want to see them do it again against Duke. Hard to see Duke running the football much. They don't really run it much. 47%, that's 97th in the country, only 3.5 yards per carry. That's outside of the top 100. I'd be surprised if Duke gets the ground game going. I think Duke has to win this game through the air, and I think Miami, you want to be ramping up your pass rush. Duke's been pretty good in pass protection, but they do have a question mark at left tackle. Bruno Fina giving up over 20 quarterback hurries to start this year. Got some really good edge rushers. If you're Miami, you wanna get after Malik Murphy. Now, Malik Murphy's a hard quarterback to bring down. So, and that's something we've talked about, like Miami keeping quarterbacks in the pocket. And when you are creating those pressures, convert those pressures into negative plays and sacks. That is kind of where I think Miami can kind of reach that next level on the defensive side of the football. Continue to tackle in space, not give up explosive plays. It's the small things. Like, again, kind of similar to how we just talked about with this Miami Hurricanes offensive line. This is a personnel on the defense that, especially in the front seven, is damn good. You just got to start playing a little bit better football, more consistent football, I would say, for Miami's defense. Now, you look at Duke. What I do like about Duke's offense is, one, Murphy played quite well against SMU, can make a lot of high-level throws, but they also are kind of multidimensional in the passing attack. They got 4 wide receivers that have over 30 targets on the year. Moore is probably the guy they want to go to the most, but they got a couple other wide receivers that can hurt you. And so if you're Duke, you're trying to find some beneficial matchups. These safeties have struggled for Miami in coverage. Can you attack some of those safeties? That's probably what you're looking for if you're Duke on offense. Getting into the pick here, I think you have to ride with Miami. They're an extremely hot team. Duke 6-2 record. Manny Diaz doing a great job. I don't think they've seen a team with the personnel and the dudes, so to speak, that Miami has specifically along the lines of scrimmage. And I think that's where this game is one kind of similar to how we talked about that Miami team going into Florida State. When you're better along both sides of the line of scrimmage, you can kind of control how the game goes. And although that wasn't a high flying effort from Miami against Florida State, where you wish you saw Cam Moore put up the Heisman Trophy numbers we've seen all year, like Miami just controlled that football game. They ran the football, they stopped the run. That's how you kind of get bulletproof and avoid those upsets. I'm going to go Miami here. I got question marks if Duke has seen a roster this big, fast, and strong. Although Duke's a very good team, and I think they can stay in it if they can get that pass rush going, specifically with some of those blitz packages. But I think Miami's got too much firepower. I'm going to go Miami here. We'll close it there. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.